Hi everyone, I'm Eve Dawes playing 959 from Beast Games. So I wanted to share everything with you about my experience on Beast Games, from how I got cast for Beast Games, what the casting experience was like, how I trained for Beast Games, the Vegas experience, and then how it was in Toronto, the friendships, everything else I can think of and how I feel about it now. I found out about Beast Games because they emailed me and asked me to apply. And I was like, what is Beast Games? I've never heard of it, which no one had because it was the first time it's ever been made. I had heard of Mr. Beast, but the $5 million prize was a big incentive to submit. So literally, I made my application video the day I got that email. After the video application, you then did a phone call interview, and it was things like, do you have a valid passport? Are you able to swim? Just questions like that. I can't remember how long we waited after that to find out if we've got it. But once I got it, it was like full on clear the schedule, because my husband and I travel a lot in the fall for work, which is when Beast Games was filming. It filmed in July when I was supposed to go back to Europe, so I had to cancel that trip. Then it was committing to August as well, which is when we start traveling because we work with schools. So a whole kind of like a moving of everything around to be able to do this. So the kind of application and the run up to it was really interesting. Training for it was different before Vegas to after Vegas because I had really no idea of what to expect. I didn't know anyone else going into the show. So I was just really watching lots of old Mr. Beast videos and Squid Game videos, anything like that I could get ideas from what we might have to do. Things like dodgeball, things like red light, green light. And then after Vegas, we started doing more things like obstacle courses, sprints, how to make a fire with flint. We really tried to be really creative. How long I could hold my breath underwater, how many lengths of the pool I could do. It was just a lot of kind of like, we alternated between doing fitness, strength, flexibility, endurance, and survival skills. And that was really cool because that was a bonding experience with my husband, because obviously he knew I was doing it. I couldn't just disappear for 2 months and not say where I was going. That would be really weird. So he knew what I was doing. So he really helped me train for it. I'm trying to persuade him to apply for the next season. Then also just really challenged me to learn new skills. I'm not the best at swimming or holding my breath underwater, so it really challenged me to do new things. I'm also a cardio bunny. I'll do spin classes all day, every day, but I won't kind of vary it. So it was really good to get back into running a track and things like that again. So let me share with you a bit of the training. So this week I've been watching a lot of Mr. Beast videos with my husband to try and get an idea of what might be thrown at us. It's so hard, it's literally impossible to prep because we have no idea. But a couple of things we saw were things like red light, green light, because that's kind of mass elimination and this is such a big game. Or things like dodgeball, which would be absolutely nuts. I've never played a dodgeball. So I've got a dodgeball somewhere rolling around in the back there. We're going to go out and play dodgeball this morning. So my husband's literally just going to stand there and throw the ball at me all morning. And I'm going to try and run and avoid it. Maybe catch it, but I'm terrible at catch. We'll play some red light, green light, get my kind of like reaction time quicker. That's about all we can think of really, besides like rock, paper, scissors, marbles. I mean, it could be infinite amount of things. I think an obstacle course might be really hard for 1,000 people to do to start with, but I wouldn't put anything past him. We also kind of figured out where it is because I live in Vegas, because we're Raiders season pass holders and our warehouse is really, really close to the stadium. We noticed trucks going in there. We also noticed on a lot of his games like hide and seek, tag, it was all done in stadiums, and our minds turning, where in Vegas could it be that would be big enough for 1,000 people? Allegiant Stadium. So we booked a tour, did a tour, and there are definitely people starting on the lower bowl because we weren't allowed to photograph or film down there and set up. So I'm guessing it's going to be something huge in there. There are also no Allegiant Stadium tours running the dates we're supposed to be filming. They said they're closed for a private event and they had a massive budget because they'd taken over the entire stadium. They had no idea what it was, but we know the stadium is closed when we're supposed to be filming. Okay, we're gonna go play. Luck. Where did it go? Between my legs? Yeah. I don't like this game. Oh my god, people do this for fun. Ah! Okay, I really freaking hate dodgeball. I don't know how anyone thinks that game is fun because I am sore. I keep getting pelted with the ball. I cannot catch it. I tried and it just hurts my hands. I sound like a complete wimp, but that is not my game. If we're doing dodgeball, I'm done for.
Red light. Green light. Red light. Yellow.
proof I do actually listen to my husband. Hi, I'm Eve Dawes. I'm 44 years old and I'm a fashion blogger and the founder of Dawes Custom Cosmetics. So I am super nervous going into Beast Games, mainly because I have absolutely no idea what I'm getting myself into. I don't know if it's going to be challenges like his YouTube channel or if it's going to be something completely different. What I do know is with $5 million on the line, he is going to make it very difficult for us. So yes, I'm excited for the chance to win the money, but I am so nervous about what they have planned. I'm definitely going to be winging it going into this. I don't have a strategy because I have no idea what to expect. I don't even know where we're going or what we're doing. I just know we're starting in Las Vegas. So obviously I'm here for the money. $5 million is a life-changing amount of money, but I'm also here for the experience. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad or nerve-wracking or what, but it's going to be an experience. I'm also here for the memories and hopefully to meet some incredible people and to make some new friends. Okay, it is show day. I am so ridiculously nervous, excited as well, but very, very nervous. I overthink everything. I'm like, okay, how am I going to make my makeup so it doesn't irritate my eyes? So there's no makeup on the underneath. There's no shimmery eyeshadow, so nothing to fall into my eyelashes. My nails are off and filed low. The hair is slicked back. Well, I don't want anything getting any lasers, if there's any lasers going. I mean, I have no idea what to expect. Had a really heavy lunch in case we're not eating for a while or sleeping for a while. I had 2 double espressos for energy. That's about it. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea what to expect. I'll see you on the other side. Hi guys, I just got back. I made the 1,000 people that are going through to Amazon Prime to the 2,000 people that started here in Las Vegas. So I know it sounds like a huge amount of people, but that's 50% of the competition out of the way. That's awesome. I'm absolutely exhausted. Look at my face. Oh my God. Literally haven't slept in 3 days. We did have, obviously, we had sleeping bags to sleep on, no pillows, but sleeping bags on the floor of the Allegiant Stadium. The thing is with the Allegiant Stadium, there is a skylight, is that what you would call it? The whole glass, translucent dome ceiling. So when you're going to bed at 6 a.m, you're going to bed when the sun is going up and it's bright and there's floodlights. You've got eye masks, but it's very hard to sleep with the light, with the noise. People are excited, not everyone's sleeping, they're talking. There's people snoring. It's a very hard sleeping condition, so very, very little sleep. Reversing your body clock from the minute you get in there. We were shooting all night, going to bed up at 6. The first day, we all made the mistake because of the light, and everyone's pumped up and starting to form alliances of waking up at 8, which threw production because they expected us to sleep around 2 o'clock. That's what they're scheduled for our next meal. We're up at 8 and we're buzzing. So they had no idea really what to do with us. So they go back to sleep, go back to sleep. No one wanted to sleep. We wanted to get going with the games. We were so excited to be there. We just wanted to get going. There's a lot of waiting around, a lot. When I say that, the games, some of them are 30 seconds long and they'll take 4 hours to set up. There might be 6 to 8 to 12 hours between, if not longer, between games. So you have to be so patient. And when everyone's there, everyone's like trying to guess what it was, what the next game is. No one got it right, so don't bother wasting your time trying to just like guess. I mean, I guess it's something to do with your time because you don't have phones, you don't have news sources, access to the outside world. So you really do kind of like, I guess it's just a way of passing time. Your mind is spinning out in a million different directions. Your emotions are all over the place. You're excited, you're nervous, you're grateful for the opportunity to do this. You're tired, you wonder what the time is. It's just absolute mental roller coaster. And then you've got the cutthroat people who are all talking in the game, trying strategically to tear you down. You've got other people trying to help each other and build each other up. So find your tribe. Find a tribe that works for you. Are you a more cutthroat, or do you want to lead with love, lead with kindness, really form alliances and help each other through? Yes, it's a competition, but there are times you can be kind and help each other when you don't need to be cutthroat. And I think if you work together, that's what I found so far has worked for me. But be prepared. We were in there for 3 days. No showers for 3 days, no change of clothes. We stank to high heaven. Oh my God, really, really stinky because you've got dude wipes. We had dude wipes, face wipes. You get a little toiletry kit with a toothbrush and toothpaste, a comb, elastic hairbands, and what else was in there? Deodorant wipes. But honestly,
comb in my hair does not do the job. I need a brush. Most of us need a hairbrush, but honestly, it was better than nothing. I went in with the expectations we were not sleeping or not eating for 3 days. If you've seen Mr. Beast's challenges, a lot of them are endurance challenges. So standing up for 48 hours, they're out in the wilderness, they're sleeping in sleeping bags. I was expecting to rough it. That's not something I wasn't expecting. So I was grateful for the food. Food-wise, water-wise, we had so much water. That wasn't an issue at all. We were well taken care of there. Food-wise for me, I thought we got fed enough. I loved the food. I'm a WBFF pro diva, so I'm used to eating. I still eat very like 80-20, I'd say 80-20, 90-10. Yeah, around that. I still eat, I weigh and measure my food in the morning. It's always egg whites and oatmeal, cinnamon, ginger, done. Our breakfast there was oatmeal. I know it was cold, I know it was runny, but it was good, it was healthy. It was a boiled egg and some fruit or some chopped up vegetables, and it was healthy, you weren't feeling bloated. The other meals were ordered plain, grilled, I don't know if it was grilled or roasted chicken, but very, very healthy, white chicken breast, some either white rice or some quinoa. It alternated meal to meal, and some very, very overcooked vegetables, but some veggies, so just super healthy, a little bit salty, but you needed some flavor in it because there's no sauce. So foods I'm used to, that's what I eat every lunchtime is chicken, brown rice, and vegetables. So just, it was my normal diet. I was so, so happy with the food. We got some Feastables. I actually just discovered Feastables for the first time. Never had them before. A little bit skeptical because I'm not a fan of American chocolate. Honestly, it was so good. I don't know if it's because we were tired or if it was really good or we just needed the sugar. Honestly, when you're in there, it was literally games, Mr. Beast Games, universe. It was your universe. You had no contact with the outside world, no phones, no emails, no news sources, nothing. We weren't getting anything. We just could see, kind of guess the time of day from the sun tracking across the dome, when it was light, when it was dark, because we had to wait for it to be dark to film. There were a few digital clocks around the stadium, so when you got your meal breaks, you'd find a clock and have a good idea of what the time was. Most of the toilets were kept really clean all the time in the stadium. The stadium staff did a really good job. Porta potties, not so much. Be strategic about your toilet breaks, especially girls. I mean, the porta potties had no light, so you kind of had to like scope it out, see where you were going to squat, and then close the door and pray to God you were going to aim and not pee on your pants because you're in those pants for 3 days or however long you're there. Some hand sanitizer, and that was it. Some of them didn't have latches, you couldn't shut them, so you had to find people to watch the door for you because there was GoPro cameras on the roof of that all over, so you don't want people seeing you pee. And you're always on camera, be prepared for that. There is no time you're not on camera, so if you need to pick your nose, go do it in a bathroom stall. Do you know what I mean? Be wary about what you say, especially when you're tired. The first night, I was so tired. I was so hyped. When I say first night, it was probably 5 a.m. in the morning. So hyped up on Feastables chocolate. I was saying the dumbest stuff like, how are you going to get through this challenge? I'm like, we've got Feastables. You wouldn't say that in the real world. But one, everyone's trying to get the camera time. And B, it was just like, I don't know, you're just having a good time, you're caught up in the moment, you're going to say dumb stuff. So please don't judge us for the dumb stuff we said whilst sleep deprived. What else can I tell you about the challenges? Again, be strategic. If you don't think you're going to make a challenge, that door was open for us 100% of the time. If we wanted to walk, we walked. You were eliminated, but you could leave anytime you wanted. We weren't locked in there by any means. And then if you don't want to do the challenge, be strategic. Get eliminated in it. You don't have to do it. Walk away with some pride. Walk away with a little bit of money and a few memories. But honestly, I'm in it. I don't want to lose. I'm here for the experience, not just the money. I'm here for the friendship, for the memories. To say you were in the first series of the biggest game show ever, it's only going to get bigger and better. But the first series, to have that, oh my God, it's giving me goosebumps. It's actually, is so, so cool. So yes, oh my God, I'm going to start crying. It's like, don't judge us as well. A lot of people were crying being eliminated. They were crying walking out. There's a lot of crying. Like, why are they crying? Experience it. You'll know what I mean. It's emotionally draining. It's an emotional roller coaster. You're grateful, you're relieved to be there. I don't know. It's just also just mental exhaustion. When you're exhausted, you can't keep it together, literally. So one thing I could say, your best strategy is to sleep whenever you can. Pee whenever you can, because like I said, when the restrooms are closed, you're going to be in porta potties. What else can I tell you? Go make those friendships. I've already in 3 days got such close friendships with people because you are living, sleeping, eating, breathing, strategizing together. And those are the people find people who are going to support each other, get each other through this, because if you try and do it on your own, good luck. So I wouldn't normally do videos like this without hair, makeup, wardrobe, but I had no hair and makeup on the show. I went in day one, full face beat, slicked back hair, going like camera ready, wanting to look cute on camera. So I really strategic about everything. I took my nails off because I didn't want them to get caught on anything. I don't want to lose a nail, have them bent back. So I tend to use press-ons most of the time so I can change my look really quickly. I was like, how am I going to do my hair? If we're running, if we're swimming, if we're in water, how's it going to last for 3 days if we don't have hairbrushes or anything? So I tried French braids the day before. I did a really, really cute French braid. I'm like, okay, I did a practice run. That's how I'm going to do it. The day of, how long did I practice for? Like an hour. I could not get my hair to work. I was having lumps, bumps. It was falling out. Could not get the braid to work. So in the end, I did my normal slick back, center part ponytail, sprayed the hell out of it, proper helmet hair. So I'm like, this has got to last me. So I want to do really slick hair. If I sleep in it, if I don't sleep in it, it's going to be good for running. All the challenges, I didn't want to do a bun in case we were going under nets and it was getting caught. So I was very strategic with that. I didn't do false eyelashes or eyelash extensions. Like, oh, maybe eyelash extensions if we can't do makeup. I'm like, no, because I don't want eyelashes distracting me for anything. I did matte eyeshadow, not glittery or shimmery frosted eyeshadow because I didn't want it falling in my eyes. No eyeliner on the bottom. So I was literally overthinking everything going in. I'm like, camera ready, but also challenge ready. So that was the plan going in. Oh, that went out the window. The first night after wearing the eye mask for an hour, my eyelashes were all creased up and bent. I had marks on my face from the eye mask that looked like big scars. I think I did an interview like that, so I probably got an interview if it ever gets released. These giant freaking eye masks across my face. You know, sometimes you see people on camera like, why didn't they do their hair and makeup for camera? You know you're gonna be on TV. All we got to take in with us, we checked lingerie, underwear, whatever you want to call it, and medications. So that's why we looked like that. That's why we looked like this. We're tired, we didn't have anything. It is what it is. You got over your vanity very, very quickly. In saying that, the next time I talk on here, I'm probably gonna make sure I've got my full hair and makeup so you don't think I always look like this. Okay, so when it comes to the games, the first game was all about forming teams. So strategize, figure out what team you want to be on. Only one people can be on the strongest team. Everyone wants to be on the strongest team. But the first one was a 10,000 pounds in weight, giant cement ball, I guess, on a pulley system that we had to lift up. And it was the first person to get it across the finish line at the top. They had like lights go off, smoke go off. You've probably seen it. It was tug of war. So we were basically strategizing the best way to do that. And they will give you tips. They're like, the production was telling us the way to do this is to strategize. You can't just like yank it, hope for the best, go at your own time. You've got to work as a team, strategize now. And we did. And it was not what we expected. I think there was so much adrenaline. When you broke down the math, 10,000 pounds sounds a lot, but a team of 400 people. I'm getting muddled up with numbers now. So many people. 400 people is a lot of people to organize, to get to work together as a team. You think it took hours to strategize because it's so many people. Everyone wants to lead. There are too many cooks in the kitchen. There are too many people who don't want to do stuff, want to be lazy and let other people pull the weight. So you really, really just pull your own weight, be fair. It was a case of strategizing how to do this, but when we started to pull, we also didn't want everyone on the rope. If you have everyone on the rope, there wasn't enough space to pull and everyone would have fallen on each other. You had to give space, and the people on the not on the ropes, which I was volunteered to not be on the rope, I'm going to cheer you on, I'm going to run to the front. We figured when it starts to move back, we peg it to that. We check if people are falling, fill in any spots that are falling. If people aren't falling, run to the front. As I was running to the front, it moved so fast. They were running backwards with the rope. It was no tug of war. It was literally flying up because people were so pumped. I didn't even get my hands on the rope. So that's challenge one that we won. Then there was probably a 24-hour break before we filmed again. Few hours sleeping on the floor of the stadium in a sleeping bag. I already talked about the sleeping situation. Get up, rinse, repeat. Well, the next challenge again, long setup. Oh God, what was the second challenge? Oh, the briefcases. Such a cool idea, brilliant concept, really, really good. He said, like on the show, it's about strength, endurance, strategy, and intelligence. So all of the challenges are based off different aspects of that. So this one was really kind of a speed. So this strength, agility, and then strategy and intelligence, because they flashed up on the screen the red and green briefcases. It's so hard to explain. Go watch the show. You'll understand so much better what I'm talking about. They flashed it up. You memorized the green cases and the red cases. So you ran strategically to the case you wanted, but you had to pick up multiple cases, because if you didn't and you were just going for one case, you were really not going to get the case, because there was 50 cases that was red. So I made the mistake of just memorizing the first 2 lanes, because I think that was still about 40 briefcases I memorized. Memorize more than that if they do anything like that. I'm a fast runner, I know I can run, but you're also, I'm 5'2". I might be fast for my height, and I know I'm gonna be slower. There's 6'2", Navy SEALs, bodybuilders, like pro track stars. So you've gotta be strategic as well. Don't just be cocky and ego and think, oh yeah, I'm a good runner. It's not gonna be like that. So we've all tried to find on the thing where we thought was gonna be the best space. I literally, because it was north, east, southwest, stood on the E. I wanted to be by my initial. I'm like, whatever, it's going to be lucky. It's a wide space to get in. Unfortunately, one girl was going for the same case as me, so I was running. I literally just kept running, so I knew where there was like a good consecutive line of greens. I didn't go for the first cases. I figured everyone would go for those. I went long, but almost too long, so then I didn't have a chance after me, because I knew it was a red case at the end. Like, oh, we're out of cases. Where do I go? Where do I go? Because some girl tapped the case the same time as me. So you can, if you want to fight it out, people did, to hold on to that case. If you know, I would only do that if you know you got it, because people were beaten by one frame. One frame is like, what, 1,000th of a second, 100th of a second is nothing. I'm not risking arguing it, because that's 50% chance. Let me find another case. I'm going to do this. And oh my God, thank you to the 2 guys out there who pointed out the green cases. You saved me and got me through. Those are the people you want to find and hold on to and get their backs later. Like, just keep your team, pay it forward. They pointed out the green cases to me, and that's trust. Again, trust. They could have been like messing with me, but there was literally no point to. They already had their green cases. If they weren't sure if they got a red or green, I'd have been like, no, I don't know if I trust you. They had their green cases. They were safe. I'm going to trust them. That's all I have to go on. Is better than randomly choosing a case. Grab the case. There's a couple of guys behind. They're like, it's red. It's red. I'm like, oh. And then it's like, is it red? Is it green? Who do I trust? So I risked it. I got it. It was green. I literally think I started crying then as well. I'm like, it's a green case. I'm going through. Honestly, I'm tearing up now. It's just so emotional. That's all I can say. I'm not a baby. It's emotional. Do it yourself and then judge. After that, call through. I think that eliminated 200 people because of 4 teams, 50 eliminations per team. So your odds were pretty good. 25% off, 75% through. My husband's going to be checking my math for me. He smiled. I think I'm good. The next one was the flags. Oh, talk about strategy. That was strategy, and you've got to be prepared to keep changing strategy. So I've got to drink my coffee. I'm so tired and I'm so parched. They gave us a ton of water, but I think it's just not sleeping enough. It's like, oh my God, just rehydrate, keep going. So anyway, the strategy kept changing. So originally, there was a good team of people I really trusted, a lot of team leaders. I don't want to say, they didn't want to call themselves leaders, but it was the people that we looked up to, and they became our team captains, and we put them in that position if they wanted it, because we trusted them. We liked that they were motivating us rather than shouting at us. They weren't shouting, they were leading with kindness, leading with motivation without being cheesy or patronizing. A lot of people were being patronizing. Like, we don't need that. So we were listening to them as well. We were really trying to strategize together. Originally, the plan was, we thought the first people going out, there's going to be a ton of egos, a ton of people who think they're fast, people who are desperate to stay in. We thought literally the first round, 200 people could get eliminated because everyone was just going to run for a flag. We saw people who were smart because they did, again, the producers were like, use strategy. They even gave a demo of the guards in there doing it wrong and then doing it right. So the first time everyone ran, mass elimination. The second time, they were looking down the line, seeing people were going for a flag and then going for their flags. And there was like less people eliminated. So they really did kind of pay attention the whole time. They were really trying to help us, but that also screwed us over, the people who are actually strategizing versus the people who weren't. So I'm like, oh, that's what we have to do. So then when people started running, we saw that they were going to do it the right way. It was like, okay, we can't wait till the end, because a lot of people, if they were slower, didn't want to run, thought running was a disadvantage or weakness, whatever their reason, was standing back because they had the same thought process. People get eliminated, we'll just wait to the end, everyone will eliminate themselves and we can just walk, we're safe. When we started seeing things that wasn't the way things were going to plan out. It was never my plan to wait to the end. I was going to wait till the middle. That was my plan. Then I wanted to run earlier, so I started getting in line. I walked up and down the line. I was listening to conversations, listening to people's strategies, seeing where it was a free-for-all where everyone was getting eliminated, or where there was like, why is there no eliminations here? There was one area, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the game, where no one was getting eliminated, not one person, because literally there was a line probably of 200 people, so maybe like 10 people at the front strategizing. You called out your flag, you went for your flag. If 2 people called it, you either had to be the nice person and back off and almost like screw yourself over, you were the aggressive person and went through. So originally people were strategizing, I want to go short, medium, long. That was my original game plan when I came in here. Everyone's getting through, but I wanted to do stupidly, because I'm short and I knew I had so many people around me that were like track stars, tall, athletic. I know I'm fast, but I can't compete with that. I was going for a short, calling short flags. I must have called numbers 5 times and been like, okay, whatever, you go. So don't be too nice. But there's like, I also don't want to be the bad guy because I don't want to break alliances for later. I'm thinking the long game. So in the end, I think I got in line when there was around 300 flags out. By the time I ran, it was 900 flags out. So 200 flags left. There was way more than 200 people left in line. I've got to do it. I've just got to call a long flag, go for it. And 2 of us called it. And I was like, I've been here so many times. Sorry, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. And even if I thought they were faster than me at that point, I had to go, because 2-1, 3-1 is first. There was 2 more rounds of flags, I think, after mine. Like, my chances are getting slimmer and slimmer as I'm waiting. I've just got to go, literally. And you've been waiting. You've been stood there. We were warming up in the past, like 3-4 hours ago. The game, I think, took 4 hours to play. We warmed up 4 hours ago. We've been stood in a line, jammed in. We were so stiff and cold running. Literally, it was tunnel vision going out of there. I've never run like that. I ran a 100-meter and relay back at school. How long ago is that? Almost 30 years ago. Not quite that long, but getting on for that, I was like, oh my God, I'm literally back in like tunnel vision, running like track again. I couldn't see anything because my husband was like, were you competing with anyone? Was anyone beside you? I don't know. I didn't see anything. I literally all I saw was that and then blurred around me. It was out-of-body experience. I've never felt myself run so fast. It probably looks really slow on the video. Booked it for the furthest flag, do not decelerate because someone will overtake you. Booked it, just plow through that flag. And then it was like, oh my God, I have a flag. Happy dance, everyone's crying, everyone's screaming. You can hear everyone cheering for you that's already got their flags. Safe. But honestly, it was when you were down to 200 flags, you're like, I'm not going to do it. You can't say that to yourself. Don't start freaking out saying you're not going to do it. Like, I'm doing it. You got to get in that mindset. Otherwise, you're screwing yourself over. If you don't think you're going to do it, you're not going to do it. Sorry if that sounded really I'm not trying to be patronizing. I'm just trying to give you my strategy and my thoughts. If I get eliminated, you'll be like, well, you got eliminated. I got through that though. So that's why I'm telling you what I thought. Honestly, to get on the other side with your banner, victory. So I think we got done with that around 5 o'clock in the morning. Probably my time is so off on these. It's such a blur. I don't even remember how long we were waiting, what we were doing when we ate. It's like, honestly, it felt like we were in there for a month. It literally felt like that. So we did 2 challenges on the last day. So the first one was, am I even saying that? Yeah, it was 2 challenges, and that was the penultimate one. So we did that, had a food break, had breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it was called at that time of day. They were screwing us up by saying breakfast, and it was 2 p.m., and then it's lunchtime, and it was 5 a.m. It was so confusing. So we had another massive long break because there's so much for them. You can't see it. Not everything's going on field. So we're looking at the field, what are they doing? It doesn't look like they're doing anything. There's so much organisation in the back. So the next game, we waited hours. But we had comfy seats. They put us in the bleachers. We actually had a proper seat versus sitting on the olive pit flooring. That sounds weird, but it was literally ground up olive pits to make the flooring. So we literally got to sit in these bleacher seats that were padded for 4 hours, and it just felt so good to actually sit in these seats. I kept my eye mask so I could nap during whenever downtime we got when we were waiting. Put your eye mask on, go to sleep, take a nap, even if you're not sleeping, but you can rest. Just shut your eyes, let your body rest, decompress, get your thoughts together, spin out in your thoughts, because you've got nothing else to think about. So that's why it's so mentally exhausting. Your head is just focused on that game. It's spinning. There's literally no other entertainment or thought process. So after that, we went down for the next game, and we've been strategizing about this since day one because I guess it was a bit of an advantage. They'd had those platforms out on the arena floor since we went in. And at the beginning, the first day, we thought it was going to be from seeing the Mr. Games, last out of the circle. We knew it couldn't be last. We knew it couldn't be endurance. We were figuring it was going to be a bribe. So we started strategizing on day one. And then we thought by day 3, it's not going to be that because we haven't done it. Maybe they're just glorified porta potties. Maybe the elevated so people can see them. I don't know. Maybe it's just so it looks good on camera. It doesn't look like porta potties on the field. It was that on the last day. So on the last day when we were doing that, it was the last challenge. Again, it took us forever because we built those alliances early on. Everyone found their people. Obviously, people are trying to cut in the team. I love my team. If you were on green team and then that platform at the end, long haul, team long haul, we were all in it for the long haul. We agreed. Thank you. You were literally the best team ever. No one even blinked an eye. They probably did inside. But for $1 million bribe, we all just turn away. Do not even get tempted. We're in here for the long haul. We haven't even made it to Amazon Prime yet. The prizes are going to get bigger. The games are going to get bigger. We want the experience, the memories, these friendships, these alliances. If we're in it together, we've got a better chance. And you also don't want to screw someone over as well for the chance to win $5 million. You don't know what they need it for. It could be for a child's heart transplant, or it could be for charity. I don't know, but you're in it for a team. If you say you're going to do something, be true to your word, because if you're not true to your word now, you're not going to make it into these teams going forward. Now we was true to each other. We're together as a team. We know we're trustworthy. We know we're good for it. That's, it's really about that. Just don't break trust with people. I know you're going to have to at some point because you're going to have to eliminate each other at some point, but stay as strong and true to yourself and true to the people in there as possible. If you can work together, you're going to go further, as it just proved. And people also trust people. People are going to want to be on the team and say, yeah, I'm team long haul, and wait to see what the bribe is and then change their mind. But oh my God, so if you're on my team, I love you. I'm so grateful for you. We did such an amazing job motivating each other, staying true to each other the whole way through. What else? So yeah, we literally got up. It took ages to get into the lines, to get formed, make sure you had teams of 100, because there was 11 teams of 100 people, which sounds like it should be a non-brainer, get into groups of 100. You do not want to be in a random group because you have to trust the people. And then everyone wants to be in the group, so it starts getting over 100. People start to get cutthroat and try and push in the lines. And you don't want to be the dick that's like, you cut in line, but you have to be. You got to call people out. Sorry, this is our people, this is our crew, go to the back. And people don't want to go, and a lot of the time you can't argue with people. So, pick your battles, do what you can, or get someone else who's maybe the team captain, tell them what's happening. That was why it really helped having the team captains. And even in the front of the 10 people on line, we made a line captain for each line, made sure no one was cutting in, made sure we were stayed in our straight lines. And then we went to the boxes, waited there, scanned, got on the boxes. Boxes, we waited hours because you're doing all the B-roll, the cheering, maybe it's A-roll, doing all the cheering, getting group shots, all the GoPro cameras that are in there like that for the interviews. And then the prizes came out. 5,000 fine. No one's going to go for 5,000. No one, only 2 people went for the 10,000 prize on the one before. If you take the prize, you're eliminated, but you've got to save money. Because a lot of people were lying, and then they didn't at the end. They couldn't. A lot of people we know aren't able to go through to round 2. So we knew people were going to flake and take the money. We knew it. We were just hoping they weren't on our team. We were pretty sure they weren't. Because you've got your moles in there as well. People, it's not backstabbing, but if you've heard someone say stuff, you've got to speak up. Then they're not. They're in it for the money. They're going to bounce. Don't let them on the team. So then the next prize was 50. I couldn't hear if it was 15 or 50. Then they brought out the $1 million. I'm like, oh, this is where it's going to break teams. I think we're good for 15, but $1 million, that's still a life-changing amount of money that people are going to run for $1 million, no brainer. So let's just hope they're not on our team. And we figured then it's going to be another team, but I kind of don't blame you if you're going to run for $1 million. We're going to be upset. But I do kind of get it, because I think we were all thinking, yeah. But honestly, strategize. Everyone's going to run. If you run and you're not the first person off, you're eliminated. Is it really worth risking it when you know it's just, I want to be in it for all of us, we were in here for the long haul. Long haul. We're in here for the long haul. We're in it. We want to go to the next round. We want to see what the prizes are. We want to see what the challenges are. We want to keep these friendships going. So none of us took it. Our team stood our ground. One girl jumped, and this is why I didn't want to do it. I cannot stand animosity. I cannot stand people talking badly of me. I know you can't be everyone's friend. I know you can't make everyone like you, but I will try and do everything I can to stay on your side and pull each other up. But, oh my God, she was being yelled at, screamed at, and I don't blame them. You're going to be upset if someone screwed you over for a chance to go through, for a chance of 5 million. I'm like, I can't be that person. I even talked to my husband, like, I was like, please don't be mad at me. He's so supportive. He's amazing. Like, you need to do what you need to do. We don't have the money to start with, so you're not losing anything. Did you win it? No, but did you lose anything? If that's going to keep you mentally sane, that's what you need to do. You can't buy mental health. You can't buy a life. You've heard of people kept committing suicide from shows because they can't deal with the outside world afterwards. You've got to keep yourself and your family safe first. So it's like, I'm not running for it. I'd rather just be happy, have the experience and all the rest of it. But you do you. But don't screw people over. Or do it. We're like, yes, someone else go screw people over. We want to get through. So this is where I'm at. We got through. We're here. I'm home. I'm going to rest up tonight. I'm going to have a massage. I'm going to go to the chiropractor. I'm going to really pamper myself. Go do some facial skincare, self-love. And I will keep documenting this on the way through. Okay, I'm going to go finish my coffee, cuddle my husband and my kitty cats, get some food, probably take another shower. I'll see you just before the next round. Okay, so I'm getting ready to fly tomorrow for Beast Games. I'm kind of excited, I'm nervous. I was more nervous before, now I kind of know what's going on a bit more. I feel more excited to go. Now I have our packing list and itinerary a bit, so we kind of know what to expect. A lot more excited. It's been a bit of a roller coaster because with so much media surrounding it, so many articles, it's been kind of like following it. It's like, did that really happen? I was expecting the sleeping situation to be bad. I thought the food was really good. It's pretty much what I eat at home. It was really healthy. There was enough of it. We never skipped meals. It was 3 meals a day. So that wasn't an issue. I hope it really doesn't change because that was really good. So then going in training, I have a couple of Vegas people going into the show with me. So we've been talking, we kind of built alliances. They're so important. If you watch anything like Squid Games or Beast Games or anything like that, you see how important or Survivor alliances are and being quite strategic. So we've all been kind of talking about what we've been doing to train. So I kind of stopped doing my Peloton. I was just doing a lot of biking and I've been more just changing it up. So a lot of red light, green light to try reaction speeds, listening skills. The other thing is I've been swimming more in our pool to get some laps in. I'm still terrible. I'm not swimming a lot, but just enough to do something. Stretching, Pilates. I've gone back to weightlifting, which I'd stopped doing for years. Oh, and then I tried making fires today with my dad. We were trying with the steel flint. We got it going, so I have that under my belt. I'm just hoping it's not one of the wood sticks because then I don't know that one. But just it's been really interesting and it's been really good for personal growth, for learning new life skills, whether we use them or not in the games. They're just fun to have and it's fun to change up the fitness routine. So I will talk to you at the end of it all. Okay, I'm all checked in Toronto. We did the check-ins, we had a really good dinner, loads and loads of food, which was nice. Everyone here is so nice, like the whole crew has been so lovely to all of us. All of Beast Games people, cast, contestants, whatever you want to call them, are being really sweet. So far it's been so good. We did our basically waiver, we checked our electronics, we didn't have to check them, we just had to say what we had, checked our medical stuff, and then got our room assignments and got really lucky because I'm actually in the Hilton. We didn't have to go anywhere else. But it was a really long flight. We got delayed, I think 5 hours. We were supposed to land at 4:30. We got delayed a couple of hours because it was flooding on the tarmac and we didn't have a gate to go to. And we had to wait a while, I think. So we got to the hotel eventually at 9 p.m. and we left Vegas at 6 a.m. So I've been up since 3:45. But I get so excited, so I really hope I can sleep. You know, your mind won't stop, even though you don't know what's going to go. You're still kind of speculating and just wasting loads of energy because you have no idea. But I've got my eye mask, I've got my earplugs because it's an airport hotel, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I have absolutely no idea what the plan is today. We don't have a schedule. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what time breakfast is from until. So I've washed my hair. I'm hoping we can get into wardrobe and get fitted and do photos whilst I've got makeup on this time, not like day 3 last time where I had no makeup, hadn't showered for 3 days. So hoping I can get that done. Hoping I can find some breakfast, hoping I can find some friends and get the day started. After filming, which I can't show you as we didn't have our phones, everyone eliminated partied at the airport hotel as soon as we got back. It was actually really surprisingly upbeat, maybe because we all had our phones and alcohol, and reality really hadn't hit yet. The next day, a few of us went to downtown Toronto to explore for a little bit before heading our separate ways, which was really hard as we got so close and didn't know when we'd see each other again. Okay, I'm all packed up, I'm ready to go home. It's been, as you'll see from watching the show, the biggest emotional roller coaster. I feel really good today. Yesterday, don't get me wrong, I was really happy to have got to the top 100, But it's so soul crushing to get that far and to have not made it to the next 60. They were all going off in helicopters. They were going to the island. I'm so happy for everyone who went, especially my friends like Matthew and Yessie. There were some amazing, if not all amazing people that went through, because the people there were just incredible. It really was a life-changing event. Sorry, I've lost my voice because of all the like cheering and shouting and clapping throughout the whole experience. So yeah, obviously just super sad not to go through, but also so grateful to have had the privilege of having this experience, to have made all of these amazing friends. Like I went out with some of the girls to Toronto downtown today. We had lunch on the waterfront, we had a cocktail. It was just a really nice way to spend the last day here together. And one of the girls just texted me from the airport and she's like, it's actually really hitting and it's really real now that I'm at the airport and I'm alone, because we haven't been alone. We've been together 24/7, you know, sleeping in the same dormitories, competing all day, going through the trenches together. Like Victoria and I were in that cell with Sarah for 5 hours. We got to know each other really well. Even though we're mic'd, it's weird, you forget you're mic'd, so I apologise for anything stupid or that came out wrong or maybe look like a bad sports person in there. It's just because you're speaking, you forget you're mic'd and it is your reality. This was what was weird, right? It's not a game show where you go into a studio and film for a day and come home. It's a game show that you're actually living. It's your life. So it's a very bizarre, emotional experience. I don't know how to explain it. You just have to do it. So definitely submit to the casting. If you like me on the show though, definitely write in the comments that they asked me to come back in season 2, because I would love the opportunity to do this again. I don't want to take away the opportunity from someone else to do it. Obviously, I think they need new people. They deserve, you know, everyone deserves a chance to do it. But I would also love to do it again. So I just think it's, and going in, that I can be more supportive of people going in that haven't done it before, having been through that, knowing kind of like how to support each other going through and really rallying together. So I don't know, I'm excited to go home. My husband isn't even home right now to go home to, but my parents are there, my fur babies are there. I'm gonna go home, have some really good cuddles, sleep in my own bed, although the beds there were so comfy, really comfortable beds and pillows. The food was so good, I swear I've put on weight. We haven't worked out at all. I worked out this morning at the gym because I haven't done anything in so long. So that felt good. So this is where I'm at today. I'm feeling really good today. I'm sad. Hugging the girls and saying goodbye to them at hotels. Everyone has different flights to different places, knowing we might not see each other for the longest time. I don't want to say ever, but everyone is so scattered. We're going to make the effort to see each other, but life happens. So I will probably check in with you in a few days and let you know where my head's at, because people have been saying it is a bit emotional when you come out of it. It can take a few days to recover, because obviously we're all connected on Instagram now, on texts. So I'm gonna head to the airport.
Okay, so I have been back from Beast Games for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days. That was a weird way of counting 5. And as the first day I've kind of felt back to normal, and it hasn't really been overtaking my entire brain. As soon as I got back, I had COVID, so I've been down sick for a while. I still have a bit of a throat, a bit of a cold. A lot of things were games of chance, no regrets. I think they were very fair games. I love all the friendships I made. I love that I took this opportunity to do it. And I think at the beginning I was remembering I kept saying, I can't believe this is restoring my faith in humanity. There was so much community work, teamwork, support of one each other. You really needed to work as a team to make most of these things work. And it was just fun. It was such a cool opportunity to meet these people from all over the country, some with the coolest jobs. So a lot of people with just the most cool, interesting backgrounds. So I loved that. I love like the close proximities that we didn't have phone and email, so you were actually talking to each other, not on the phone all day. And don't get me wrong, as soon as we got our phone back, we were on them because you're catching up with loved ones, catching up on the news, everything you need to do after taking that long off of work. But I'm on it less now. I want to have these one-on-one conversations. I want the opportunity to meet more people because I don't have these blinkers onto my phone. So just such an amazing experience with that. Going back in time, I would have handled definitely the last episode, if not more episodes, differently. I would have tried to be more in the moment rather than when the actual competitions come up, being so focused on the competition, being more focused on, like you would normally, a game is normally fun. A game at home is fun, or even like a sports day, because there's no pressure. There's like, oh, it's a medal or whatever, but it's not $5 million. It's not a chance to now go and see Beast City. It's a chance now go to see a private island, which you might have the opportunity to win. It's such big gamble. Everything is like there's so much risk reward that you get a little bit too overwhelmed. So I can see why people were sabotaging some of the games, like the counting the balls, because it might not be something they do in real life, but at the time, like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to win that. How do I stop other people winning it? Or I need to do this for more of an opportunity to do it. So I don't want to judge anyone for their reasoning for doing it, the same as people taking money, which meant eliminating others. Everyone has a reason for their doing their things. So when you watch this show, I will just say, do it with a kind heart, do it without judgment, because until you're there, you don't know why things are happening. Before I was like, why are all these people crying on reality TV? Day one, I'm the crier. I'm like, oh, and now I understand. Or why they're not wearing makeup. Now I understand, because we don't always have time, or we didn't have all our makeup with us. Our mirrors and sinks were outside, and it was a push pump for the water. So there are just so many things you don't see that's going on behind closed doors. That's why it might look like we did an episode in an hour, because that's what it was edited down to. It might have taken us 3-4 days of 12 to 18 hours of shooting content to get there. So we're so emotional, we're tired, we're so invested in it. It just brings out a different side of yourself. I was like, my mum was like, just be yourself when you go in there. Don't do things in there that you wouldn't do in the real world. Once you're there, try and remember that, because it doesn't become real world, because you are living together. You don't go home every day. You are living together. When we're in B City, I think it was dorms of 50. You live together. You play the games together. You eat. You're never, ever apart. Well, maybe when you're using the restroom, but you get my drift. And you don't have your phones. You don't have emails. You're not able to talk to anyone in the outside world. This becomes your world. So it's very, very weird when I said, oh, we're going back to the real world now, because they say reality TV, but it's not reality. It's not the real world. So that's the best way I can describe it if you haven't experienced it, or if you're wanting to experience it, is try and keep a little bit of that grasp on what you would do in the real world. Try and take some of the pressure off yourself by forgetting about that prize and thinking about just the experience. And I had, like I said, during it, if you hear me, I'm like, I literally forgot the 5 million was there, because I wasn't focused on that. I was just so desperate to stay in the game. I so wanted to go see the island and experience it with all my new friends. I wanted to see what the next game was. Like, you just didn't want to be out and miss out on this entire experience, because I will still say it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life, good or bad, because I've never felt that range of emotions and that much stress and pressure not even in a week, in just one moment. Because when someone got left, when someone got eliminated, you're sad to see a friend go, but you're also happy because it means you're progressing. So the whole time it was like excitement, nerves, happy, sad, just like you literally didn't know where you were going. It's like a constant stress, like what's the next challenge going to be? Am I eliminated? Am I going home? Is it going to be skill-based? Is it going to be chance-based? Can I do it? Am I going to get hurt? There was just so much going on. But it's now I've had time to process everything. I would definitely recommend doing it to anyone who wants a chance to do it. But just take a breath. Anytime you go to say something, I forgot I was mic'd. I don't know how, because you can, especially when you're double mic'd, I don't know how you forget you're mic'd. Obviously, when there's a camera in your face, it's easy to remember there's a camera there. But there was 1,400 cameras, I believe. So even when you don't see a camera on you, there's a camera on you, whether it's a drone, whether it's a GoPro, whether it's something you're not seeing. There were cameras everywhere, and it's very, very easy to forget that when you're living it 24/7, especially with the tiny mics and no cameras visible. You forget and you start saying things. So I would just say, not filter yourself, but maybe think before you speak, think before you act, and just really, really try and enjoy the process and work on being the best version of you and the best friend to others that you can be. Hey, so I can't believe it's finally here. I am with Adam. It's been like Adam, Eve and Yessie since the beginning, since check-in in our trash bags. And we are now on our way to LA for the premiere. So yeah, we decided to road trip it. We were going to fly, but then just getting back, there were no late night flights. And then I decided I want to stay overnight to see my doctor tomorrow, because he's in Beverly Hills. So yeah, we're just road tripping in, and Adam's been nice enough to drive us there in Lewis's car. Lewis is my husband, if you don't know who he is. Because I'm a bit of a nervous driver. I've got to drive back tomorrow myself, but at least one way it makes it easier, doesn't it? Yes, we're going to stop for a break halfway there. We're going to get there in good time, do the makeup, because obviously there's no makeup on right now. Just let all the skin products absorb, get all nice and plump and hydrated for later. Self-tanning's done, hair is almost done. I've just got to brush the curls out. Got it down to 3 outfits. I asked my nieces and my sister yesterday which one to wear. I said like 8 different outfits, and I got 3 different answers. So I've packed all 3, and I'll put them on later and see which one I'm feeling. Because you know, sometimes you just feel you like one day and another the next, just for how you're feeling or how your hair and makeup's gone, or if you've got the bloat going on or not. So we'll get there up, maybe pre-game a little, and then go. And what's kind of, it's just insane because we have no idea how much you're going to see us, if you are even going to see us, because it's only episode 1 and 2 we get to see today. It's very surreal, isn't it? You don't have to look.
Yeah.
You keep your eyes on the road. Have a little chime in.
Yeah, it is pretty nuts. I'm very excited to see how our progress goes in the show, what we get to do on the screen, and then to see all my other friends that we made and see how far their journeys go and what happens with them. It's a pretty exciting time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I can't say anything. Well, I'm excited to see what I'm not.
I'm excited to see it.
I'm excited to see all our friends. I'm sharing a room with 3 other girlfriends from Texas and Tampa that I made friends with in the dorms. Like, we made such good friends there. I don't think anyone expected the bonds we all made, and this many people to be heading to LA for the premiere, because people were like, oh, they're not going to travel. We're going to travel because it was such a huge part of history, such a cool group of people, such a cool experience. So if you see a casting for season 2, I highly recommend, if you're competitive and you like other people and are a social person, submitting. Okay, we made it to LA and the billboards are up. It is getting so real. Okay, we're starting the hair and makeup face baking right now to make that set all night. It looks like I've had an explosion in you know where. My girls are all getting ready in the room. We are in full-on party mode. I was so excited to see my girls. It's just so amazing. We just have such a close connection from being so tight together for so long. And we're all excited, we're all dressed up. We have oceanfront room, Santa Monica. This is awesome. Victoria behind me. So I roomed with 3 of my girls from Beast City that I'd got really close to there. They all live in Texas. It was really fun to be able to share this experience together. Waiting for it to start screening, it was incredible seeing all of the faces again, all reunited. Like the bonds we had in this show, I can't even begin to explain to you. It was such a tight cast. When it came to the show, though, airing it, it was incredible watching everyone's reactions. I think it was even better and even more dramatic than we expected. And of course, we had a Las Vegas screening too, because it's basically any excuse for us beasties to get together. So let's talk about Beast Games episode 1, where we went from 1,000 to 500 players. I can't believe the first thing Jimmy was offering in this episode was $1 million. There was no way I was taking it when I'd already got this far through casting and the Vegas episode, where we went from 2,000 to 1,000 players. The second game was self-sacrifice. Now, I really thought this was going to take hours as who would give up their dreams, but it went so fast. There really are some amazing humans out there. Then we had to build a tower. So mine actually fell and I was feeling really sick, waiting to see if mine was one of the first 100 to fall. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. So I wasn't eliminated, but that was definitely the most stressful moment of episode 1 for me. Last was the bribes. There was no way I was letting down my team as I'd given them my word, but would you have taken the money? Episode 2 of Beast Games is still just as cutthroat, and we went from 500 players to just over 300 players. So by now we were living in Beast City, which is this $15 million city he built just for this. I'm wondering what the towers were for, which was for these 4 games. So I was on the Red Cup pink team. I didn't actually score, but our team still won, and I can't tell you how sweet that victory felt. But even though you know only one person can win and people have to get eliminated, seeing people go is always bittersweet. It means you're winning, but it's also really sad seeing others' dreams die, especially when you're living with them at this point. So the second part of episode 2 is that massive bribe, which got left on a cliffhanger. So we had to choose a team captain. We trusted not to take the bribe, but we had no idea how big that bribe was going to be. Would you have taken the bribe? Okay, episode 3 of Beast Games. We start on a beautiful sunny day in Canada. Jimmy says, there's nothing to lose in this, don't worry about it. We had a brutal episode the one before where half of the competitors had gone home. So we're all teaming up with our friends, which in hindsight, my husband and I had talked about before. If there's a competition, a game, do not ever team up with your friends. But we didn't think this was a competition. This was all part of Jimmy's plan. He wanted us to be with our friends. So after the sack race, it then turned into the competition and we were stuck in those groups. And the isolation pods were the worst part of the entire games. I cried so hard people thought I got eliminated because one of the 3 of you had to go home. We didn't think it was fair to be like, oh, who deserves to be here the most? Because everyone deserves to be there. Everyone wants to be there. So we left it up to a game of chance. We drew cards. I actually drew the highest card, which was kind of like complete disbelief. Unfortunately, Sarah, bless her, drew the lowest card. I did say, listen, nothing's in black and white. If you don't want to honour the game, you don't have to. No one's forcing you to go home.
But this was the agreement we made, and she was, thank you, Sarah, for sacrificing yourself so Victoria and I could stay. So we did get through that challenge, but honestly, it felt like a loss. Losing your friend to that was so hard. That game took a lot of getting over, that's for sure. So anyway, tune into episode 3 to see how it ends, because that's not how this episode ends.
So episode 4 was a lot. It started with a hidden ticket for the helicopter, and we completely tossed the city. I did go in the right direction, just not close enough. It was someone called Misha who found it, and everyone actually really liked him, and it was so early on, everyone was actually just happy for him more than stressed. I mean, we were stressed, but that went up exponentially with each game, and when fewer and fewer spots on the helicopter were left. The second one was the counting game, which was really stressful. It was the first ticket helicopter game that included an elimination. But I was actually really excited about doing the counting, as it's something I'm really good at, until Daphne threw off the counting. Honestly, though, to be fair, I don't think there's any way I would have even got within 0.3 of a second like the winners did. I don't know how they did it. So the next game to win a ticket on the helicopter was one person had to collect 100 of 110 coins. Now, if you watch this, it becomes very controversial as there was a big divide, but honestly, it wasn't cult-like there, and I hate that it got portrayed like that. I actually really like Jeremy. Anyway, everyone was mad about the picks, so go watch episode 4 to see all of the drama. The glass challenge was super nerve-wracking, especially when they brought out the pole and sticks. It's like, how the hell are we going to balance this? It was so super windy. I got in a team with the people I was closest to, and it was Matthew who was balancing the whole time. He did amazing. I cannot fault him. I could not have done that. The blindfold game gave us 1 minute to decide whether or not we would go into the circle. Now, this was super stressful. All stressful, but now there was only 3 helicopters left, which was 18 seats and 86 of us. So now the odds were so bad. I just wish I'd told the people next to me, which I'd have taken with me on their helicopter anyway. I was just getting on the circle and just done it, as the risk reward at this point was so great. Always wise in hindsight, right? The next challenge was either to go up one side of the tower and take money, or go up the other side and keep playing, not knowing what the game was. I just didn't know how many people would take the money, so you could end up with pretty much nothing. And I'd already gone so far, I couldn't give up now. As soon as they told us it was a ball game, I started regretting my decision. Now, obviously I didn't win that one, but I was so happy Yessie got to go, as she was one of my closest friends from the very beginning there, from registration back in Vegas. But I was also super deflated, as now there was only 1 helicopter left, and that last challenge was the platform. And I went with the girls from my room and one random guy. He random at the time, he's a really good friend now. We all thought we would go as a platform, as there was 6 of us on the platform. So the numbers made sense, as there was 9 platforms and 6 seats. So you couldn't do 1 from each platform, so that'd be 9. But it was only 1 from each platform, and it was the first 6 to decide who'd go. And it was so stressful, as now only 1 person from our platform was going, and could see people already starting to run for the helicopter. A couple of players tried to convince us why they were more deserving. I didn't want to do that, because everyone has their reasons for being there, and the rest of us wanted it to be a game of chance. I got down to the last 3, and the moment I threw the losing hand out and was eliminated, it was so surreal. It took a moment to actually sink in and realize that it was the end of the game and I was going home. The girl who chose what game of chance we played won, and she got the very last seat on the helicopter. It was just so hard watching this episode again and reliving being eliminated. Yes, I'm so grateful for the experience, but it was very hard to watch losing again. Okay, so to answer all of your questions, the first one was, did we have time to send someone from our platform to the helicopter? Yes, we did. We played a game of chance. I got down to the final 3, not the final 1. And she did make it to the helicopter in time, but she was the last person to make the helicopter. So literally just made it. I was there about 4 days in Vegas, because it's hometown for me, so I didn't have to fly anywhere. And then Toronto, I want to say I was there about 10 days. In hindsight, I really regret what we ordered or didn't order. I wish we'd ordered things like steak and lobster, massages, facials, but you really weren't thinking about what you were going to order, to be fair. You were just thinking about how you were going to survive in there, how you were going to choose the one person going. So we ordered sushi, pizza, a money gun, $1 million, and that was it, because we thought it'd be fun just to have $1 million to sit on, to visualize winning the money gun, to throw it around. Oh, and a megaphone. We didn't get the money, but we did get everything else. We didn't get them to do it, they did it themselves. We decided to do a game of chance, which was whoever picked the lowest card had to self-eliminate. And they did honor their word and self-eliminate. So we didn't make them do anything. I didn't make it to the island, and that was heartbreaking because I really thought I was going to go out on a water challenge. I am not the best in water, and also I kind of had a feeling that was when I was going to go out. You know, when you get a certain feeling about something, I was completely wrong about that. So no, I did not make it to the island. The last game was the hardest because there was so much pressure. There was so many of us left, down to 6 seats left on the helicopter. It's the worst the odds have been the entire season. So it was very, very stressful doing that. Yes, it was fair, but it was weird because the person who picked the game of chance we were going to play, which none of us had played before, was the one who won. But I don't know. I like that we did a game of chance. It wasn't like who was the most deserving, because everyone is equally deserving. We heard other platforms trying to say, oh, I want to go because of this. And people on our platform did start to do that. And I was like, no, this needs to be a game of chance. It's the only way that's fair. So that's how we did it. And it was basically you either threw out a fist or a flat hand. And whatever was thrown out most was the one that won. So if 3 people did this and 2 people did that, people throwing a fist would win. So when I was down to the last 3, 2 of the girls did that and I did that. I thought I won to begin with. I'm like, oh, rock, paper, scissors. I've beat both of you. Wrong game, Eve. So they both did that. I did that. I was out. So then it was down to those 2. It was Carmen and the girl who went to the helicopter. And honestly, that was so hard, being the remaining 5 and seeing someone else go and live their dreams and continue on. You're happy for them, but that was the hardest moment of the entire game. And it took a while to sink in. The realization was like, that's it. I'm going home. There is nothing you can do. Game over. Beast Island is a private island in Panama. My decision on whether I would have competed for the island or not depends on where I was in that lineup. So if I was near the beginning of the line, I would probably have said no to the island and kept competing for the 5 million, just because you don't know your odds. If I was towards the end of the line and I'd seen how few people were competing for it and how good my odds were, I'd have 100% gone for it. It was like 1 in 9 chance of winning that island versus a 1 in 50 chance of winning the 5 million. I'm all about the odds. So yes, I'd have totally gone for the island, depending on where I was in that lineup. I wouldn't have taken any of the bribes, and I also wouldn't have taken any of the money that wasn't a bribe. It was just basically free money, but you eliminated. Just because I was there for the big prize, I was there for the experience. I wasn't there to take away someone else's dream from anyone. I wasn't there to screw anyone over. I thought the way of doing this was to play it fairly and to play it with integrity. 100%, absolutely yes, because I learned so much about myself. I made great friendships. It was a wonderful experience. I got to travel. I would 100% do this experience again, and I would definitely recommend doing it too. So now that all 5 episodes I was in have aired, if you include episode 0, reflecting on it, it was really cool to see again for so many different reasons. I'm gutted you didn't see me at all in episode 0 or episode 1. You saw me in episode 2, and I was the thumbnail, a little bit in 3 and 4, but I really didn't say much. So I wish I'd had more camera time, but hey, maybe I'll come back for season 2 and people won't recognize me again. I would love to come back for season 2. Not just for the chance to win the money, but because of the experience, because I learned so much about myself, my strengths and my weaknesses, all of the friendships I made, and just, it was a life-changing experience. All I can say is, like, if you get the opportunity to apply, you can actually, I'll put the link below, because you can get alerted for when they're doing the casting for the next season if you want to consider applying. Now it's 5 months later and I've had more time to reflect on it. I'm still really, really glad I did Beast Games. The friends I thought I made in there are genuine friends that I'm still in contact with. What else can I say about it? It's been very hard watching it. It was good watching all of them because it was interesting to see when people got out. I wasn't sure when certain friends went. You would just go back to your bunk one day and like, hey, they're gone. Which game did they go on? Or I don't know. It was just really interesting to see people's journey. I didn't realize all of the people that had gone through to the island. So it was cool seeing everyone that went to the island. And now I can't wait to follow the rest of the show to see who won and see what happened on the island. I'm going to have such FOMO. That was one thing. I'm really sad I didn't make the island. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, grateful I made it to Toronto and to Beast City. Gutted I didn't make the island. I'm an island girl. I love the sunshine. We live in Vegas, so I'm all about the heat and sunshine. But episode 3 and 4 were definitely the hardest to watch, because episode 3 with those isolation cubes, that was so hard going. I mean, I cried so much leaving. People thought I'd been eliminated because you're saying goodbye to like one of your closest friends in there. It was very, very difficult. And then you felt the guilt of them going home. And then episode 4 was really hard because that was like watching my elimination all over again. It was literally reliving it, and that was painful. It was hard. Like, you're out of the game, you're out of a chance of winning the $5 million. And the thing is, by that point, you've really considered, because all of the questions like leading up to it in your paperwork when they're interviewing you was all about what would you do with $5 million. So you kind of created this dream life yourself of what you do with the money. So you're so involved in it, you're living it, you're breathing it because you're living there, you're not leaving set, you don't have a phone, you don't have any contact with the outside world. So it really is very kind of all-consuming. So leaving was definitely very hard, especially not knowing if you'd ever see any of these people again. Some of my best friends from there, some of them are from Vegas, but some of them are from places like Florida and Texas. It's so far away. I don't know if I'm going to get to see them again. I did because I got to see them at the premiere, which is amazing. But I know it was very, very hard. So watching it was kind of like reliving that all over again. Anyway, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you want to apply for next season yourself, I've linked that in the description as well. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a quick thumbs up and subscribe.